my name is Pooja and today I am here to give a lecture or a study about how we can do house price prediction using machine learning. So here I have used multiple linear regression to do the same. So being able to do a machine learning project actually consists of selecting the data set initially. So I have picked up the data set which was named as house prices and I have uploaded it to my GitHub. So after doing the same, I had pasted the link and then using the link, I have uploaded the data set. So here in the first step, you can see that I have initially uploaded my data set from my GitHub to my Colab. So Colab is my working editor or the editor where I'm going to do the model generation and prediction. So here I have used the Pandas libraries to do the same. So here read CSV was being used to upload the data set into my Colab. So here I have used the Pandas library. So here you can give it as initially df is our data frame to which our selected data set would be stored. So df equal to pd.read_csv and you can paste the link of your GitHub repository. So here read_csv is a built-in function present in the Pandas library. So after that I have displayed the first 5 rows of my data set using df.head. So if we give simply head, it would display the first 5 rows. So if you need more value, you can specify the total number of rows required within the brackets. So that was initially done. Then df.info was being called so that I was able to get a clear summary of my data set. So the summary is displayed here. So here you can see that it's shown the total number of entries, which is 545 entries, and there was 13 columns in it, and the properties of each of these columns is listed below. So here we have price, area, bedrooms, bathrooms, stories, main road, guest room, basement, hot water heating, air conditioning, parking, preferred area, which is preferred area, and furnishing status. So here I have next tried to understand the total number of columns that is present. So initially I have displayed all the columns. So I will be explaining about each of these columns. Price actually stands for the house price, that is the expected price of the particular details of the house. So we have to actually predict this price. And area refers to the total square feet, the area of the house. Bedrooms is the total number of bedrooms present. Bathrooms also is similarly the total number of bathrooms present in the house. Stores says whether it is one stored building or stored building. And main road says whether the house is present near the main road or it's in the main road. And next is guest room, whether guest room is present or not. Then whether there is basement. Hot water heating says whether hot water heating facilities were enabled in the house, whether the house had air conditioning was being specified by air conditioning. And parking says whether parking space was available. Next, it was preferred area. Preferred area actually refers to whether the house is present near towards a place where hospitals and any such amenities are present. Then there is furnishing status, which said whether our house is furnished or not, and it had 3 entries: unfurnished, furnished, and semi-furnished. So this was the attributes. So I was able to gather a clear picture of the attributes. So based on our data set, we have to do all these steps. So anyway, initially all these steps are same for any kind of data sets that are present. Just give df.columns and it would display the columns needed. Next, I have used shape function, which would show the total number of rows and attributes. So actually attributes, when I say it, actually meant the columns present in the data set. Our data set is just like a table. We all know that. So the rows are actually the records and the attributes are actually the properties or the columns that is possessed. So based on these attributes, that is columns, the price can be predicted. So here Using shape function, I was able to gather that there were 545 rows and 13 attributes in our data set. So now I'm going to begin with the pre-processing step. Since the data set that I have picked is a very well structured data set and doesn't requires much processing, my data set doesn't need much processing, but according to the data set, the number of pre-processing steps would increase. So you have to create a clear picture of the same also. So if you want to use this data set, I would provide you with the link, so you can comment below if you guys need it. So the pre-processing step, the first thing I have done was to check whether any null value was present. So here no null values were present. So to do the same, for checking the null values, I have taken my data frame df. Then I have called the isNull function, which would check whether any null values are present in each of these attributes. And after that, I have used the sum function, which would show the count of the total number of null values if present in the attribute. So here you can see that all the values are 0. So no null values are present here. So we doesn't want to do the null value handling step. So if you have to use the step of handling a null value, you can replace it with the minimum value, maximum value, or average. So after that, the next step that I had done is to take a count of total number of numerical and categorical columns. So the total number of categorical columns were 7 and numerical values were 6. So 7 plus 6 would make 13, which is the count of the total number of columns that we had. I had done this so as to understand what type of feature selection technique is needed to be applied for each of them. So for numerical one, I have used correlation metrics. Correlation metrics can be the most effective way to do feature selection for numerical values. So I have plotted the correlation metrics like this, and all those values which is having higher intensity is the one that is more correlated. So based on this, I was able to conclude that all the numerical values affected the house price. So the numerical values were actually present for attributes like area, which is the overall square feet of the house, number of bedroom, number of bathroom, how much story the house is, whether parking space is available. It's not displayed like a yes or no value, it's displayed like the count, that is total number of parking space. So again, it's a numerical value, so it is also affecting the house price. So I have selected all the numerical value because all of them is having a very high correlation. After that, for categorical feature selection, I have actually used chi-square test. So based on the chi-square test, these were the values that I was able to gather. And here I have plotted it like a graph. So on the graph itself, you can understand that I have selected all those values which are having higher values or higher chi-square test values. So here main road is having a very low value. So I have neglected main road in the next step, and I have selected all other categorical values along with all the numerical values. So chi-square test is actually a very effective way, and we can fix the threshold based on our data set. So here I have fixed the threshold. By looking at the graph, I was able to gather that main road is the thing to be avoided and all others are important. So after that, I have done the x and y coordinates needs to be selected. But before doing that, I have to do label encoding. So that was done here. Label encoding was being used because I'm using multiple linear regression. And multiple linear regression works well only with numerical values. So we have to make sure that all our attributes are having values which are in numerical form. So here we could see that all other values are having numerical value, but our furnishing status and our preferred area is actually having categorical value like yes or no value. So to replace them, I have used label encoding. So for preferred area, I have used yes, 1 for yes and 0 for no. And for furnishing status, I have used 0 for unfurnished, 1 for semi-furnished, and 2 for furnished. So I have done this step, and before that I have also done normalization, which is depicted here, because I want my all the attributes to have a range between 0 and 1, because normalization is very important. Otherwise we won't be able to give a better result using multiple linear regression. So I have done that too. So here you can see that I have dropped the main road column, which is of no use. So after that, I had done the model construction. So the step involving model construction consists of selecting the x and y value. X variable is the input, y variable is the output. So here my x value consisted of, I have pre-processed every ways and I have kept only those values which are needed in DF. So I have dropped price, expect price, all other columns were needed. This was because here you can see these are the column values. So here we need to predict the price, and price values is determined by all other values based on our chi-square test and correlation test. So I have dropped the price value and kept all other on x variable, and on y variable I have kept the price value. So after doing this, I had done train test split, and I have used 80-20 ratio to do the split. After that, I had done y-train and y-test to be reshaped, because y-train and y-test actually contains only one column, which is price. So I to apply multiple linear regression, we need to shift them, actually reshape them into a array, into a single array. So to do the same, I had done this. Then only multiple linear regression would work properly. So after that, the next step that I had done was model construction. For that, I have used linear regression has been imported from sklearn.linear underscore model. Then linear regression has been constructed to our variable model, which is my pseudo model or my demo model. After that, I had fit x-train and y-train to my model. Then I displayed the coefficient and intercept value, which was displayed here. Since this is multiple linear regression, there would be more than one coefficient, but only one intercept would be present. So here multiple linear regression has a y is equal to mx plus c form. And here, since multiple linear regression is used, it is m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 plus etc. up to c. So then I have evaluated the model to check the accuracy. I have used the map method here. So using mean absolute percentage error, I was able to gather accuracy of 97.8%, which is highlighted here. So the next step was to construct a UI for my model predicted or my system. So I have used Streamlit to do the same. So after applying Streamlit on Collab, I was able to gather this link, and through the link, I was able to do the prediction like this. So here for a 1,000 square feet house with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 storage, and it has guest room, basement, hot water heating, air conditioning, and parking space of 1, and preferred area as yes, and furnishing status as unfurnished. I was able to gather a house price of 30 lakh, around 30 lakh something. So this is displayed here. So on a concluding note, I want to again sum up the steps that I had done for my dataset. Initially, I loaded my dataset, then I summarized about the dataset, then I gathered about the shape and number of columns, then I had done pre-processing. First of all, no null values were there, so not much pre-processing was required in that side. So after that, I have displayed the total number of categorical and numerical value. For numerical entries, I have used heat map method or correlation metrics, and I have selected the numerical value. So based on the correlation metrics, all the numerical values were important. Then I have used chi-square test for selecting categorical values. So from there, I was able to gather that main road was not required. So I dropped main road and selected all others. Done normalization, model was constructed using 80-20 split ratio, using map value, that is mean absolute percentage error, obtained accuracy of 97.8%. After that, done model construction and done my prediction. So I hope everyone has understood this, and if you guys want more video about the house price prediction or any other topic, do comment below. And if you guys need data set, please kindly request to me about the same in the comment section. And I hope everyone have understood about my lecture, and kindly give your feedbacks in the comment section. Thank you all and have a nice day.